this video from North Carolina. They smashed windows, screamed obscenities, and forced cops to use pepper spray. Students at the University of North Carolina became violently intolerant during an immigration speech by former Colorado Congressman Tom Tancredo and forced him to flee the campus. So where's the free speech on campus?
We're joined on the phone by former Colorado Congressman Tom Tancredo and live in Durham, North Carolina, Riley Matheson, who is the UNC student who arranged the speech. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so Riley, let me start with you. You decide to invite Congressman Tancredo to come and speak about his thoughts on immigration and students' tuition at your school. What happens 10 minutes into the speech?
Well, thank you very much, first of all, for having me on. I do appreciate the opportunity. It wasn't exactly me who invited Congressman Tancredo. It was the chapter of my organization, Youth for Western Civilization. But yeah, we were hoping to have him speak on in-state tuition for illegals because it's a pertinent subject for our club, and we were trying to get that opinion expressed on UNC's campus.
Sure,
so,
absolutely, and Tom Tancredo is a great guest to ask to come and do it. Congressman, have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, I've had, I have been around this bush a couple of times, and so, in fact, I've been in places where there have been protests, but I don't think I have ever seen anything where the professors in the room, the teachers, and I use that term advisedly, the adults in the room were encouraging these kids, and instead of acting as their mentors and providing a much better example for what they should be doing, these people were actually, egging them on. It goes to show you what goes on inside the classroom. If that's what went on inside this particular event, I mean, that was the most discouraging thing for me, to watching that, because students, hey, they get a little rowdy, they get a little loud. Now, when they start throwing rocks and bricks through windows, that changes the whole scene. But when these adults in the room start acting just as badly, then we've got a real problem. And you're right. Down at Napolitano should look at what goes on our campuses in these left-wing radical organizations, and she'll find out what's really a threat to the republic. And it sure as hell isn't people who are concerned about immigration reform.
Well, the interesting thing is, Congressman, we're actually going to have Secretary Napolitano on the show, and we'll ask her those questions in just about an hour from now. Riley, let me take it back to you for a second, because I know that you also had John Kerry come to speak at the school. Did you see similar reactions from people who didn't agree with him?
No, absolutely not. Actually, John Kerry came on March 20th, and the day before that, Donna Brazil came. And also on March 19th, we were fortunate enough to host Babe Buchanan. But no, I mean, there were no violent protests. To my knowledge, there weren't any protests at all from conservatives. But if there were, there certainly weren't any violent protests.
Right. Well, Congressman,
so this is typical.
Congressman, the University of North Carolina has apologized for the fiasco on campus, but it certainly does make the point, and there's the apology right there from the chancellor, it does make it look as if, given what Riley just said, the left in this country is intolerant when it comes to even sitting down and listening for an hour to the other side.
Incredible, I mean, they're the ones that profess to be the most open-minded and, free speech advocates and all that garbage from their standpoint. And let me tell you something. They're the most intolerant people in the world, and this was a perfect example of it, that they would not, they did not like what I had to say, and they did not want me to say it to anybody else. They didn't have to listen to it, but they prevented anybody else from doing so. Now, that's not fascism. You tell me what is.
Well, it makes my blood boil no matter what side of the fence you're on. That shouldn't be happening to anybody. Congressman Tancredo, Riley Matheson, thanks for sharing your story with us today.
You bet. Pleasure.